everyone, welcome to episode 39 of the Army Think Tank podcast. I am Jen.
Jess.
And this week I have a shaky background because it is a bit of a mess behind me. And so I have this beautiful BTS galaxy background, so you have to deal with it.
You're in the galaxy.
How are you doing this week?
This week was a lot. BTS stuff was great, like in terms of that. I would say like more like personal stuff was more a little bit crazy. There's a lot of things happening in the filmmaking world that are good and they should happen, but it's also the stories that are coming out of it are awful at the same time. So it's kind of a lot of like realizing about like how much I have suppressed, I guess, over this, like things that just like happen that I'm like, okay, like there was a story. So what, if you don't know what I'm talking about, IATSE, which is the union that deals with filmmakers, specifically like tradespeople. There's a separate union for producers, directors, that kind of stuff. That's called in Canada anyway, it's the Directors Guild of Canada. So the IATSE in LA specifically, because each city has their own designation for IATSE, which is very confusing, but it is what it is. They made choices. There's not like an overarching one. It's like specific to each region. So the one in LA is potentially going on strike, which is a good thing, because there has been a wide variety of people who are starting to now feel, and I think it came up because of the pandemic and the fact that many people got like a break off of shows that were put on hold during that time, and realizing just how overpaid and underworked we all are in this industry and how much we have sort of let slide. So there's a bunch of if you want to know like some stories and some background about it, there is a Instagram called IA_stories, and they've been posting a lot of stories about people who are working in the industry anonymously, because my industry is well known for blackballing people who are
being
outspoken.
Very petty.
Yes, so if you say something, then you won't be working in this industry very often. So they're doing a lot of really good work and sharing a lot of stories. And I read them all, and it was just realizing how many like I have gone through personally in these stories, and how much we just allow to happen. Like there was one about a guy who had a stroke on set, and the response was, can we move him out so we can rehearse the scene? And after the ambulance came and got this crew member, they went back to work. Like they weren't allowed a respite or a day off, which should have been a day off.
Yeah.
There was another incident of somebody collapsing on set, and the producers showed up before the ambulance did and asked if he could be moved, or asked the ambulance and the paramedics to be quiet while they were recording their scene. It's also like simple stuff like working overnight, and you know, if it takes like an hour, especially like here in Alberta, it takes like to get to some of these locations, it takes an hour and 2-hour drive. So even though we're saying we're working 12 hours, it's actually more like 16, because we have to drive there and back.
Yeah, the traveling is not accounted in.
No, not at all. And the crew stays way later than everybody else on set. So even though it says like your call time is this, you're actually there like 2 hours ahead of time. So a lot of the time when you're coming home, you're sacrificing things. So either you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you're not showering, you're not doing any normal human behavior. It's just like you sacrifice one of those things. It's either you eat and you go to sleep, or you shower and you go to sleep and you don't eat. And I think all of these things are starting to just like boil over, And yeah, it's good and it's empowering, and I'm, very in favor of having a strike and having these things come to light because they need to be said. So I hope that my American filmmakers know that this Canadian at least stands with you. But yeah, so it's been wild.
It's been a while. I slept a lot.
That's good. Opposite of
Considering that
what I've been doing.
having trouble sleeping since the beginning of the year, it's been really refreshing. Like, I'm tired all the time. Don't get me wrong. I'm still very tired. I woke up like an hour ago. But I sleep a lot, which I guess is good.
Sleeping is good, apparently, from what I've heard. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have much going on because I just moved here. I'm not allowed to work yet, so I'm at home. But I'm gonna be taking care of like a bunch of wedding stuff this week. So I'm gonna visit the venue. Not that we haven't visited it, but I've only had like a virtual visit, and I want to see the actual space. Especially since we're not getting a rehearsal, like I want to at least see the actual space. And then I have my hair trial on Wednesday.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and then we have to get our marriage license this week because my fiance is off work. So got a lot of things going on. I'm tired all the time. But it's okay. That's what's been going on. Like, I'm welcoming the at home time. Yeah,
it's good.
But first things first, before we jump right into this gigantic list of things we have to get through.
Such a long list.
For those who didn't know, we posted our first like actual reaction video on Friday. We didn't expect the response that we got, so we would like to thank everyone who watched and subscribed and left a comment. Thank you for have us go over 100 subs. We're at 105 as of recording this video. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like, for real, thank you so much. We also realized that we actually really enjoy filming reaction videos. So you like, we're not becoming a reaction channel, but we are most likely gonna record more reaction videos because we actually really enjoy like reacting to stuff together.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And if there's any like videos,
because like when B came out,
oh my god, we were together during that whole like listening to that album and that music video for the first time.
Yeah.
So
that would have been so funny.
Yeah, you would have seen tears.
Also,
and I don't
mind you,
like
we have known, like, when that happened, we had known for like each other for like 2 months, something like that, like 1 or 2 months,
something like we just cry to each other on the internet. Don't worry about it. God.
But yeah, what were you gonna say, Jess?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, if there's any specific videos you want us to react to, I would be more than happy. Like, we'd be more than happy to do that. Like, if you've watched for a while, you know, like TXT and BTS are our alt groups. So
we're Mo armies. For those who don't know, I mean, you're wearing Bangtan merch and I'm wearing TXT merch.
Yeah.
Also, I have this scrunchie.
So yeah, if there's any specific things you want us to react to, then we can do that.
Oh, random tangent. I submitted homework this week.
Oh.
With a Subin photo card, and I had to apologize to my like my checker.
Oh, why?
For the Subin attack.
Oh.
Because they weren't expecting the Subin attack. I was like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
But are you ready to get into this?
Let's go. I'm ready. Let's do
All
it.
right. First things first, we're gonna slide right through this one. Bitchboard butter at number 14, still on the top 100.
Yes. So climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've said like previously, amazing job, US Armies. You guys are killing the game. There is nobody like you. I support you. I send you money because I'm Canadian and I can't do anything to help you.
I told you I was gonna use it.
Dear God. Uh but yeah, we love you guys so much. You do so much for us, and keep going. You nice, keep going.
You nice. Keep going. Okay, so first like big subject that we are going through today is obviously BTS being at the UN. We talked about it a bit last week,
We did,
but now that it's like fully done, we're gonna talk a bit more about it. I don't think we're gonna go like too much into it since we talked about it last week as well.
yeah. We talked about their like speech and their performance last week,
Yeah.
so I think this is more of a conclusion of like what happened on Tuesday past.
Yeah.
Since we already recorded it on Monday and saw all of the beautifulness. I gotta say, like BTS in New York, goddamn, they were like, they would not let us breathe. Like I
They were
needed
like,
I needed like 15 minutes to just chill.
okay, like they were in New York and they were like Fashion Week.
Hello? Oh my god, they were looking so good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Tuesday they were invited to the Met to introduce the new Korean exhibit with the First Lady, which first of all, she's beautiful. My gosh. Wow. Um yeah, they looked amazing during that time. First of all, Jungkook, learn what buttons are, please, because I can't do this anymore.
No, we've known that since he turned 23, it was over. And now he's 24, so it's just worse.
24. Okay. 23 was like a slow, like we were
Yes,
built up to it.
I'm just here like I'm also 24, and yet I'm decent. But like JK doesn't care. He just doesn't.
I
We know this.
with him. Anyway, the exhibit, like we got to see some. I'm gonna sidestep that because I can't with Jungkook right now. I really can't. Oh, he's such a problem.
As a 97 liner, I am in pain.
It hurts me deeply. So yeah, that's it's so cool. Like Namjoon's speech there was just so like amazing, and it's so cool that they are like one of the representatives of Korea, and to be able to announce the new exhibit that's going on at the Met and to visit the Met. We all know like Namjoon loves art and art history and being at museums and all that kind of stuff, and I think it's just such a beautiful thing to like see him fulfilling like a part of him.
Yeah, he's in his element.
And there was like a beautiful they also donated like their autographs to the gallery. It was just it's beautiful to see like other cultures being represented in such like a really artistic and substantial way. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing. It's beautiful. I loved it.
I'm just like, I want to go.
I want to go. Like I've been to the Metropolitan
I'm
Museum.
already in the country.
You are. You can go. Yeah, I've already been to the Met. I went with my high school theater music program. Mm-hmm. We went to New York to see a bunch of like musicals, but also to see like art and art history and all that kind of stuff. So the Metropolitan is like one of those museums that's so unique and interesting. There's a lot of that one, and the MoMA are both like very interesting
because they're not like traditional museum. They just like
Yeah.
prove themselves, not necessarily prove themselves. I have the word in French, but not in English. Sorry about that. I should probably put my beret back on. But they just like manage to distinguish themselves by
Mm.
how different
Mm-hmm.
their like expositions are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really, it's fascinating to me because like I did art history back in college and I
Yeah.
just love
Same.
museums in general.
Oh
So
yeah. I could spend like hours at a museum.
like history museum, art museum, like
Yeah.
just bring me to a museum and I'm okay, random tangent about museum. We have this in Montreal, we have this Holocaust exposition at one of our
Mm.
museums and I wasn't able to go before leaving. But I feel like it's a permanent exposition, so maybe next time I go back home,
Yeah.
I'll be able to go. But like even like darker sides of history like that, it's just like I'm a history nerd, so
Mm.
this doesn't come as a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just love learning about history. Like I like as a side project when I was younger, I like even last year I had this family tree that I made and I enlisted like a professional's help to make sure that it was accurate. So I
That's
have
so
a
cool.
family tree. So
Yeah. I took quite a few art history courses throughout university, and they're all extremely fascinating. Just like how different we perceive art like throughout
mhm.
time, and how much like even the simplest things like change the way that we interpret history and then put it out into the
Yeah, and just the
world.
way how like art movements change throughout
Yeah.
history because you would go from like realism to like and then you have like cubism and you're like
Yeah.
what the frick.
What is going on? Yeah, there's so it's like really cool to see Korean culture being brought, and to see like even like the simplest things is just, it's so cool to me. It's so fascinating.
Mhm.
Which makes me want to go to Korea like even more to like
Yeah.
learn more about the history and the art and the culture that's there. It's really a beautiful thing, and I'm so glad that BTS was a part of it too, because they really do help to embody the culture of Korea and bring it
Mhm.
out into the
And
world.
like not like a lot of people that are really conservative with their culture, BTS and
Hmm.
like TXT are very open with sharing and make it okay for like foreigners like us to embrace their culture because they are so proud of it,
Hmm.
which is
Yeah,
great.
it's great. I mean, like you just like you look at like the performances that they've done at like all these historic buildings,
Well, it's
and then
just the Globe and Citizen performances.
yeah, like it's incredible to see culture being brought onto like a world stage. And I think this exhibit just highlights that as like an additional like cherry on top of a already amazing Sunday. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. It was great. I loved it. I'm so glad that Namjoon got to do that and visit the Met. Because I know he wanted to for like so long. So the fact that he got to
Yeah.
do that, so cool.
And then they were also interviewed on ABC and on Nightline with President Moon.
First, Juju, what an amazing interviewer. Like,
Wasn't she the one
so
that told June that she saw him on at the Met and she was like his reaction was so precious.
first of all, Army, we're loud because she called us out because you tagged her so many times in and
Hmm.
one of a couple of those posts, I paused that video to read like some of the screenshots that they took. Some of them had the nom titties things in there, and I'm like, we have to chill. There are just some things that don't need to be on mainstream news, and that would be one of them. No, but yes, I love that moment. And Juju was such like a um amazing person to interview them. Like she was totally like professionalism. Obviously, I've seen other interviews with her, and she's always like extremely professional.
But she looked like genuinely
But
interested.
yeah, that's the other thing to me anyway. She comes off as very like genuine and excited, and the questions that she was asking were really in depth and insightful, and to
Mhm.
include BTS with President Moon, I think that that's such a interesting and thought-provoking like addition to the two of them. um I loved
We're
all the
here for it.
yeah, I'm here for it. Like the questions that President Moon, like that she was asking President Moon, really like were about sustainability and how do we prepare it for like future generations and all that kind of stuff, which is obviously something that we should all be concerned about: climate
Mhm.
change, sustainability, renewable resources, like all of these things we should be concerned about. And I like what he said about BTS bringing all of that sorry, my voice all of that
You are becoming a boy.
and becoming oh god, um what was I saying? Bringing that all forward because BTS is the perfect way to bring that into, you know, the younger generation's mindset. Uh, which I think is it's a great thing to have that combination between the two of them because of the fan base that they have, and then bringing in these ideas that we ourselves, like at least for myself anyway, that
Mhm.
I'm already passionate about,
Yeah,
and
same
just
here.
being that vocal presence to say, yes, we're concerned about this, yes, we need to talk about this, yes, it's important for our future generations. So I think it's great. And
And
of
I just think
course,
also like it felt like they were finally able to actually speak out about it because we know that those are subjects that they are also passionate about,
yeah,
but they
of
don't really have the
course.
opportunity to like bring it forward.
Yeah. And I think it's like the little things too. Like we were just talking about before we started recording, like Namjoon during that interview mentioning about like the he saw a couple of young people with like tumblers, which are like coffee cups and stuff. And he was like, that's such a great, like that's a simple thing to just like replace
Mhm.
stuff. And like not even like a month later we had like tumblers on Weverse being sold.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of like attention to detail that like makes me love them so much
Mhm.
more. um and then going back to like the how COVID impacted them and how much they miss performing and being with us. And I love Jin's sentiment about vaccines. Like we're all scared, but if we do it together, then it's not so scary. I'm summarizing. He did a much better
Yeah.
job than I'm doing right now, just as an FYI. But I think that's such a perfect way to sort of get people to have a conversation about it and to really discuss it. It was just it was such a, we haven't had like a good sit down TV interview in a very long time.
Mhm.
And so this is the bar. So if any other interviews out there, this is the bar that we're setting
Mhm.
for any other television
We
interview.
don't want another. Who do you want to collab with? They'll collab if they want to collab.
Yeah, and I
Thank
don't
you.
I don't know.
We don't care.
Yeah. I
If they
think
collab, we're happy.
we're happy.
If
I
they
don't care.
don't, we're also happy.
Yeah, we're happy. I think what's also um really interesting that I also wanted to address was Namjoon and Yoongi's questions that they were asked and responses to that. So first Namjoon with you know, having a female fan base and all this kind of stuff, and him acknowledging the misogyny of the past and then working towards bettering himself. uh First of all, wow. uh
And I mean, we've seen the change in the lyrics already.
yeah, and it's so difficult as a human being to acknowledge your faults, and to say them out loud,
especially in public.
Especially on a public platform, and acknowledge that you made a mistake, and also acknowledge that you're working towards becoming better. And to go to like a women's study professor, like, who does that? Nobody does that. Like, it's incredible to see the shift in mindset and to see that they are working towards that, especially because, as Juju pointed out, the majority of their fan base are women, and females, so, and people who identify as female. So it's just incredible to me that he was that. To me, like, again, my love for him was just like enormously grown.
It knows no bounds,
honestly. Like, he really just embodies that leadership and really understands the impact that they as BTS have on people. And I think it's just incredible. And then Yoongi, you know, because he's so open and honest about his depression and the things that he's gone through, it just like, it makes it okay for us to talk about it too. Which is why, like, every time I see like an ARMY post, we're so like open with each other on the internet.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from the fact that they are so open and they are so willing to share their thoughts and feelings and emotions with us, because it allows us to have a space to do the same. You know what I mean?
That's like, not last summer, but the one before that. That's what brought me to talk about the fact that I was having panic attacks on the regular to my diabetes doctor, and that's how I started like getting like tips and medication for it. And like, I still have them, but at least I'm not like home, like not being able to do anything because I had like 2 panic attacks in the morning. So that's a lot because of them.
Yeah. And using the metaphor of like this tunnel that has like a single light at the end, I think is just such a perfect representation of how it feels sometimes to be in those positions. And it reminded me so much of the Life Goes On music video. Like, so much of, you know,
when they're in the car,
and they're going through the tunnel, but there is a light at the end of it. And you will get through it eventually. And it's not going to be perfect, and it's not going to be, you know, easy. But you will be at some point okay. So I think like like I said before, like that interview was just so like perfectly crafted to have those like vulnerable moments that they felt safe to express themselves and say what's on their mind and be okay with answering those questions honestly. And the honesty, like, that's like a part of why we love them, is because
it's a big value
honest
to them.
Yeah, and they're honest with us too. And I think that lends to the sort of conversations that we can have as well. So I absolutely loved it. It was great. I had Juju, you get all the praise. So thank you for doing that interview and being so amazing.
All right, on a not so fun note, we've canceled James Corden this week.
Canceled is a strong word. I'm not gonna say canceled.
Have you seen the reviews that ARMY has been leaving?
You guys are hilarious. I'm not gonna say canceled, because what I will say is that we give a lot of leeway to some of these people, and I don't think that they necessarily need to have that. Like, it's cute, it's adorable, but they don't need the recognition or the sort of clout that we give them. So if you don't know, James Corden did a segment about the UN and about BTS. The biggest problem that I had with that was the fact that he called the UN visit an unusual. He called BTS at the UN unusual guests. Which, first of
It's
all,
not their first time at the UN.
they've been there twice. So that was kind of very off-putting to me. And the next part was a comment about, 15-year-old girls being jealous of a certain I don't remember what the diplomat was, because honestly it doesn't matter, but he was basically like 15-year-old girls are going to be very jealous of this specific diplomat. Okay. That's a problem.
We've talked about this.
We have talked about this many times, about this trope of using 15-year-old girls as a way to diminish and demoralize fan bases. Specifically to male bands, male idols, that kind of stuff. It's getting really tiresome.
I'm tired.
I'm really tired of it. And it's not just about like me being a 29-year-old woman or Jan being, a 24-year-old woman. It's not really about like our age in terms of like the bigger picture, because we know based on statistics that the age range of fans of BTS are 23 to 30. That's like the statistic of the most amount of people that are fans of BTS. That's not really the point, because 15-year-old girls are amazing and they have
I mean, we've been there.
We shouldn't be demoralizing them or making them feel like their voice is less important.
Cannot be heard as much as like older people or male in general.
And the James Corden knows better. That's the worst part to me anyway, is that he knows better and he knows the demographic and he knows the fan base.
I mean,
that's what makes it worse.
He's had BTS on so many times.
Yeah. Why would
That's my actual question. Why would you go out of your way to, especially talking about like the UN segment is like important and special, like in itself, like the General Assembly is a very important event, and like
it had 1 million views, like...
exactly. And why would he take his time to go and diminish the fact that they are special envoys of Korea and go out of his way to say stuff like that, when he could have used this time to talk about actual important things that have been said during this assembly? Wasn't he also the one that was like also diminishing the performance?
He didn't even mention it.
Okay, so that wasn't him. But like like I've seen things also on Twitter that were like, oh, like performing at the UN, blah blah blah. It's like, it's just part of their message, and obviously they didn't do it without consent. And so like what you're saying is invalid.
And also like Trevor Noah also did a segment about BTS at the UN and did a much better job about like, it's okay to have jokes and to do it, but we need to do it in a safe space, and you just
also have tasteful jokes.
Like you didn't need to say like unusual visitors or 15-year-old girls, because it's tiresome.
They're not unusual visitors, and they're literally funny. They're literally like diplomatic envoys of their country.
So hello,
get the fuck out.
It was just very tasteless, and very like tone deaf, based on the fact of how important that specific meeting was, especially because a lot of the diplomats were like, guys, we got 1 million views on this video. Like, that doesn't happen at the UN. So the fact that like 1 million people tuned into the UN during that day is why that was important, and is validation to like the president.
And if BTS like are the ones helping towards that, it's important for us to like listen to what is discussed at the UN.
Yeah.
Like
Which
it's
is
literally like a
why,
global thing.
yeah, which is why we had so many, like, if you were on Army Twitter, you know that we had so many discussions after the
Mhm.
fact. We had, you know, hashtag Youth Day was obviously going around and we shared all our stories. We also had hashtag Army Does Vaccines, where we said like our vaccine status and are we getting vaccines and all this kind of stuff. And like, it's like those things that like you don't realize the impact until you're actually like doing it. And so
Yeah.
again, like the fact that he diminished that really doesn't sit well with me at all.
No.
In any circumstance. And like I said before, I think we give these like late night talk show hosts, we give a lot of clout, and
We give them too much credit
we do.
when
Yeah, we give them a lot of rope, and I don't think that we should be doing that, because a lot of the time we just get hung. So
yeah.
I don't think it's worth it, to be honest.
Yeah. And I think we should stop talking about it before I get too fired up. And I think it's the same for you, Jess.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about it anyway. I didn't really have anything to add that we haven't talked about already.
Like 3 other things that happened while they were in New York.
Oh
They
my God.
met with hot girl coach Megan Thee Stallion. They gave her a Koya.
Okay. I like, oh, I'm so glad they got to meet. Oh my gosh. That's so exciting. I mean,
And they got to meet the doggo too.
and they got to meet the doggo, which we all know how Jimin feels about animals. That boy is like always finds animals. He's so whipped for animals. Yeah, I love the cute interactions. I'm so glad they got to meet. Like that's such a, you know, when you collab with somebody but you can't actually meet them in person, that's such a cool thing to be able to be like, hi, we did a collab together. This is awesome. So I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, they also met Ron Perry at Columbia, and they got their Bitchboard.
They got their Bitchboard plaques. So cute. I think
they each go one.
Yeah, there's 7.
They have 7.
There's 7 of them. Of course, they had to add Army on there, which, like, you don't need to. It's fine. Like, you did
so special.
It's still so cute and so special, but like, you did all the work. We're just. It's whatever.
Also, they went live, or at least attempted to go live on VLive.
Oh my God. They went live like 4 times.
Yeah, they crashed like 4 times.
Oh, New York Wi-Fi. I honestly, the funniest thing to me I saw was like, you know how we have like the list of people who are antis or like we don't approve of in the fandom. I saw a bunch of them adding New York's Wi-Fi on there, and I was dying laughing. I was like, you guys.
It's true though.
It's true. Yeah, like so they had to record themselves and then post it as a video instead of going live. I mean, we love seeing them. I'm so happy that they got to go to New York and like do all these exciting and incredible things. It's just so, I'm just so happy for them that they got to do it.
Also, we have to give a quick shout out to Buck Twitter.
Oh my God. So we were all waiting for the VLive to come back, and Bach Twitter decided to host a Twitter space. If you don't know who Bach Twitter...
BTS Chicken Data on Twitter, or at Bach_TWT.
If you don't know who...
Go follow Bach Twitter.
Hilarious. It's hilarious to me. They do the renditions of songs, but
it's literally the best account on Twitter.
It's an instant serotonin boost. Instantaneous. And I just love how like 3,000 people were just like chilling in this space listening to a chicken cluck to On and
I
Black
think the
Swan.
last one that they released was Buck Meets Evil.
I can't. I can't. They're too good, too funny. I love it. I just love it.
It's so good.
The live, like, also her like cracking. It takes me out of it. Like, I'm like, yeah, we're doing it, and then it's done, and then I'm laughing and we're laughing. It's just
Because
it's
she knows
hilarious.
that it's also ridiculous, but we love it.
Like, what fandom has like a chicken Twitter account?
We do.
That's
And
what I
it's the
mean.
best.
It's only Army. Like, we create the weirdest spaces, but I love it. I am so on board with this whole
I
thing.
wouldn't go back to not having a
Oh no, not at all.
Buck Twitter.
No.
So we got more teasers and stuff about BTS in the SOOP too.
Yes.
They high build a fucking mansion for them.
First of all, BTS and BTS only. Beautiful. Do we even need to, like, amazing. Second, there's a pool and a gym? Was that necessary? No.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. Because they ate so much last time. They need to.
I'm just tired of Hybe ignoring our requests.
And we know how much like JK loves swimming.
Oh my god. Honestly, like, I'm so excited for In the SOOP. I did read that there's only gonna be 5 episodes. Oh, my
I just hope that they're longer episodes.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they're like longer episodes. But I'm probably gonna binge watch the entirety of season 1 before season 2 starts. Yeah, I'm so excited for In the SOOP. It's so healing. It's just so chill and nice, and I don't know.
TXT needs to chill.
Are they like, commenting?
Yeah, now it's Taehyun. Earlier was Subin.
It's very late or early, I guess.
Yeah.
Over there. I don't know what's going on.
That's why I'm saying they need to chill.
And all the merch for In the SOOP is so cute. Like, oh my god, my wallet. She's quaking.
Yeah.
Quaking. I really want that purple sweater.
Yeah, me too. And then we got the Dalmajong official merch behind the scene video.
Yeah. Oh,
I love seeing them in hanboks.
Oh, me too. Yeah, me too. Me too. It's so pretty. And they were just having such a fun time with it. Like, again, like, it goes back to like the Korean culture and them like inviting us into that culture and showcasing it. It's just so cool I love the behind the scenes. It brings it all together for me, you know? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right. So, for those who has seen our reaction video, this is now the Coldtan segment of this podcast.
Oh, hi.
So,
Coldtan!
A lot of things happened. They met Coldplay while they were in New York.
Oh my god, and the
BTS gave them like modern hanboks. Chris Martin gave his guitar to Jin just because he said he liked it. He's whipped.
So whipped. First of all, get in line. Second, I'm just kidding. Their interactions are so wholesome and just so genuine and sweet, and they really do like love each other. You know what I mean? Like, they have so much respect, mutual respect for one another.
Yeah.
That it just comes out in every single one of their interactions. Like, the fact that they're like wearing each other's merch and that they gifted them, you know, the hanboks and the signed CD, and it's my heart.
With that, the documentary of how the song was made released this morning.
That documentary.
It was so wholesome.
It makes me, honestly, like, I wanted to cry.
Yeah, me too.
Because the fact that Chris like went through all of those hoops and stayed in quarantine to meet them in person, to record this song in person. And I think BTS mentioned this too, of like he could have just sent them a recording,
Yeah.
but he wanted to be in their space and record it together. um
And just like their interaction while they were recording, it was so freaking
I,
cute. Just like that one part where he asked the producer, like, "Can you tell Jungkook that he's impressive?" And like Jungkook in the documentary said how much like of like a musical inspiration
yeah,
that Coldplay has been to him since he was like very young. And
it's
like for
yeah,
him, like I just like when he said thank you back, I could feel how happy that made him
yeah.
because of all that. And so I'm just like, but
um and I also like love how Junie, oh, that man's gonna make me cry every single day, like god damn him. But like saying, like Chris talking about the music being about like love, and love is love, and it doesn't, like, boundaries don't matter.
yeah.
It's just so beautiful. And the fact that Namjoon said while writing this, I was thinking about Army. It's just it's like, my heart, it's too much, it's too much. I hope that they get to perform this live with Coldplay, like whether it's at a
Yeah.
Coldplay concert or whether it's at a BTS concert.
We just want it to happen.
I want it to happen so much.
Just like they were able to perform like Boy with Love with Halsey, I want them to be able to perform that with
Yeah,
Coldplay so bad.
it's just so, this collab is just so special.
Because this song is like so Coldplay but also so
It's
BTS.
so BTS, it's so Coldplay. um and I think, like, you know
Okay, Taehyun, you need to chill.
it feels like this was always destined to happen. Like it just needed the right song and moment for it to come together. You know what I mean? Like it feels right. It feels
It was just
like,
like the excitement of Chris Martin at the beginning of the documentary when it was like, oh, like 18 months ago, I got like a message saying, oh, BTS wants to collab with you.
and him also like realizing the impact that BTS has had without um diminishing or even mentioning the large fan base that we
Mm-hmm.
have, because at the end of the day, that's not
That's
really,
not what matters.
that's not what matters. What matters is that they're good human beings, and the fact that Chris is also one of those good human beings, and that they get to be like human beings together.
Yeah, good souls attract good souls.
Yeah, and it feels, like I said, it feels like this was like always meant to happen. And I know that like BTS is such a huge fan of theirs, like you said, like Jungkook and Jin, like they've been
Yeah.
fans for like ever, and Hobie and Namjoon, I think, went to their concert.
Mm-hmm.
um so
Well,
it
even like Yoongi mentioned, like, oh, like they had a concert in Korea like 5 years ago.
yeah, yeah. Well, and Hobie mentioning like we get to be with the guys who sing like, oh, you know what I mean, like from Viva la,
Viva la vida.
yeah, Viva la Vida. It's just like, it's that kind of shit that makes me just so happy. And then not
Mm-hmm.
only like on top of the artists being so like wholesome with each other, the fandoms being so wholesome with each other is also just like,
Yeah,
again,
we talked about it a little bit last week.
like a cherry on top of this, like,
Yeah, the Coldplayers and Army coming together was so freaking wholesome, and it still
it
is.
still is. It still is. And I know Chris, or a Coldplay, like together posted a thank you to Army and to Coldplayers. And I saw a couple Coldplayers mention like this was like the first time in like years that they had mentioned the words Coldplayers in a post or in a sentence. And they were just like, Army's just doing the work. And
We try.
I was just like, that is like some wholesome ass shit when you're excited about being called the name of your fandom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just ooh,
We try and we like to give back.
yeah. I love it. I love it on a level that like I think we needed this, you know?
We're getting remixes today.
We are getting remixes today. They're dropping later. And
Supernova and acoustic version.
So acoustic version, I understand. That makes sense to me. It's stripped down. There's not a lot of like backing. There's not a lot of like all that kind of stuff. Supernova 7 remix, the hell does that mean? Like I don't like what does that mean? I want it like can 6 p.m. come fast enough? Like I don't understand. Explain it to me. Anyway, I'm excited still. I'm confused, but excited.
They also both had performances on Global Citizen.
Yeah, Global Citizen Live. So I actually found out yesterday that Chris is the curator of Global Citizen Live until 2030, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So it's very interesting.
You being like
it's very interesting to me to see the artists that were like listed on Global Citizen Live because I'm like, this is a very Chris Martin tailored set of artists because Coldplay is beloved by like pretty much everybody. They are, you know, they do get hate for no reason, just like BTS, which is why we're very similar.
Yeah.
The fandoms, I think that's why we like are so genuine with each other because we're like, yeah, we understand. So I love the curated list and I love how BTS was like one of the first performances on there with Permission to Dance, which really sets the stage for that entire concert of just being about like
and we're talking about the
awareness,
culture and where they're performed with
it's
so good.
It's so good. It was so good. Yeah, Permission to Dance, Butter killed me. I don't want to talk about Butter. Permission to Dance was beautiful. I love Permission to Dance. And I saw the entire Coldplay set that they did in New York. Them and BTS are literally the only people on this planet who can make me sob uncontrollably. Truly, I am not a crier, but like something about them just makes me sob uncontrollably. And you know, they picked Fix You and Yellow and Clocks, and I just my heart, my soul.
That explains it by itself. You don't need to.
Yeah, it hurts. And then they performed My Universe. Sad that they didn't get to do it with the boys, but I'm really glad that they had the visuals of them and were able to do it. I love Chris, like when Jin did his like part was saying worldwide handsome, and when the rap section was coming up, he's like, I don't want to do it without them. I can't do it without them.
He's like, I don't
I love that. Like Chris is such a genuine human being, and him like saying these things and being so like glad and happy that like BTS is the boy band and they're Korean and they get to sing in Korean and they're bringing this culture with them, I think just says like it's such a perfect way to end this week of amazing things that have happened to BTS, with the UN starting us off and then ending with this documentary with Coldplay. I think it's just such a perfect summary of their impact that they've had.
Definitely.
And I love it. I love it.
ready for artist shout out?
Holy crap, yes.
We made it through. We made it
Oh
through.
my god, if you guys are still with us, hey.
Thank you.
We just went on a journey. Hello. Hello. Yeah, artist shout out. Let's do it.
So my artist this week is Moonchild's Magic Shop. We may have already shouted them out before, but I just like it. The stickers are just too cute. I just couldn't not. Just too cute. That's all I'm gonna say.
My artist this week is Lost Souls Club. So they do a lot of like band printed t-shirts inspired by the guys. And a lot of yeah, a lot of other groups are listed on here as well. It's like super cool. And I love the style of it. I'm a huge fan of like band tees, so I definitely wanted to add Lost Souls to the list.
The BTS collection. Bonjour.
Yes, yeah. Money, goodbye.
Price is not too bad.
No. I also saw another artist that we've already shouted out before, Paradise Co. is releasing like some new collection with TXT stuff, and girl, it's so cute.
Uh-oh. I might have to get this one.
Yeah.
Because it's exposed forehead Yoongi.
I know, yeah.
Okay.
She picks the beautiful pictures to put on those shirts, let me tell you. Let me tell ya.
It is meme time.
So,
you know,
memes. Let's talk memes because I have a few. Gosh.
Oh, this one is random, but I found it funny.
Yoongi, your pocket size. Literally this week.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, I saw that you posted this one.
I also had this one, which was very funny.
The trains. Oh my god, the Rapmon one kills me.
The Jin one is very funny.
The V Live ones, honestly. We connect to 7G.
I also have a V Live one.
Poor everybody else on the other side of the planet here.
They know how it feels like.
It's true. I thought this was funny because this literally happened in like an hour time span. And it was the perfect summary to me of the events that were happening. Okay. This will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like during the Run BTS episode, like not last week but the week before, when they were in the hotel and they're all just like gathering in the room and the producers were like, yeah, I guess you can go in each other's rooms. Yeah, this is what this week was.
Yeah.
And then
this week in a nutshell.
This morning, what was all this about?
Like, why?
What is?
Do you know BTS?
Also, like this one, like what's going on? Jin, hello? Like why is he so funny? Okay, this one also, the creme de la creme of these memes.
Do you know BTS?
Can I get your autograph? How is he so effortlessly funny? Like, how? Okay, yeah, social distancing my ass.
business relationship, huh?
Business relationship. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it looks very businessy to me. This was basically me all this week.
Speaking of Kobe.
J-Hope! Oh, look at that. J-Hope. Also, like, our voices are so loud.
Okay, I have one last one. It's not really a meme. It's
Okay.
my dad adopting my gaming chair back home and my blanket.
It's really cute. Wholesome. I love the wholesome content. We love some good wholesome memes. If you guys have memes that you want us to react to, comment or like tag us on Twitter, Instagram,
Yeah.
and we'll react to them and we'll put them in the meme segment.
For sure. Songs of the week.
Oh yeah. Forgetting totally.
All right. So my
our
BTS
structure
song
is.
this week is "Love and Bombs."
I
It was
hope
just a vibe this week.
it was a vibe this week. I hope we get it.
We didn't
At the
both of us
concert.
did not put My Universe because it's gonna be by default in the
playlist.
In the playlist.
It's already in the playlist.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, fam.
And my non-BTS song is actually the Halsey song that made me fall in love with her at the Imagine Dragons concert. It is Empty Gold. It's such a good song.
Good. It's good.
Such a good song.
So good. I know she released some new music. I haven't listened to it yet, but I will.
Yeah, she gives birth and then releases music.
Queen. That's queen behavior.
Yeah. What a goddess.
What a goddess. So. My song, I have said this song many times, but I'm gonna say it again. Love Maze. I think, you know what, I think this week especially, this song is really relevant to me because it's just one of those things that like, ARMY, we just gotta let them be them, let us be us. Like, leave them out of it. It doesn't matter. Let's just be together. In our wholesome fandom that we have going on here. And I love that song. The lyrics really just like speak to my soul. I love it. And then my not BTS song, shout out to Coldplay, because the Global Citizens concert just made me like bring me back to my like high school days, because like Coldplay was like the band that I would listen to a lot, and like their music would always be like in my playlist. It's like I'm attracted to bands who like put that like wholesome message, which is why Imagine Dragons also like fits into that category, is because their music is just, it speaks to your soul.
It speaks to your soul, but it's also like really fucking good.
It's good. It's fucking good. So the song that I'm going to choose is A Sky Full of Stars. That song is just so like empowering and just so beautiful, and I love it. If you haven't listened to any of my playlists, I have a specific playlist that has that song on it, and I think I did a great job with the arranging of that specific playlist.
I mean, you did say this week that your playlists are like your love letters.
They really are. Like, I craft my streaming playlist to be like a vibe and a mood and a feeling, and so they really are like the specific one, Up in Our Universe, is really my love letter to ARMY. Apologies.
Yeah, I've been listening to it a lot.
Apologies to my group chat, and to everybody else who's listened to that specific playlist, because I definitely did you dirty. I know what I did. The ending is certainly my bad. I don't know how to explain myself other than it just, those songs needed to be in the order that they were in. So I'll have my thread, like my personal thread of all my streaming playlists. I have updated a lot of the Permission to Dance ones, the Butter ones. They're all updated with my universe. So if you want to use them for streaming, go for it. They are open, and I'm willing to share my love of playlist creating. And if you want me to create a specific vibe or mood or whatever, I'm totally open to that. So.
All right, let's end this shit.
Yeah, we've been talking forever, so.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, we have a new podcast episode coming out every Thursday and a clip coming out every Sunday. This week we don't have one, but it's going to be past when this is published. So, at 3 p.m. EST every week. You can also listen to our podcast on the go on every platform you can listen to your podcasts. You can also find us on our social everywhere except Facebook. Didn't change since we began this podcast.
No.
At Army ThinkTank or at Army ThinkTank podcast. And as usual, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. Don't forget to stream. And we'll see you next week.
Have a good week, guys.
Have a good week. Bye. Bye.